Oh yeah, is it Tuesday already? The Mandalorian and Grogu movie, we finally get a actual first look at this film. The next Star Wars movie, the first Star Wars movie in 6.5 years, we have our first actual look at HD images, or the closest thing we got to HD images, from the trailer that was shown at D23 last weekend. We finally have something to look at when it comes to the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, and that's fan-freaking-tastic. But if that's not enough Star Wars for you today, we got so much more. Darth Vader novel talking about Darth Plagueis and getting more of the epic Sith master of Darth Sidious, also known as Palpatine, Sheev if you're nasty, and we got to talk about John Boyega saying that he wants Finn to have a lightsaber, and George Lucas's museum has dropped a trailer? We got a lot to get into and not a lot of time, so without further ado, let's dive into all of it. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing on this fine Tuesday afternoon? From George Lucas's museum to Darth Plagueis to the Mandalorian and Grogu movie to John Boyega. We got a lot to talk about today, and as per usual, not a lot of time, but I'm just excited, man. The Mandalorian and Grogu movie is still over 8 months away. It's still a little bit away. We don't have an official trailer yet, just the ones that were leaked out online. But we do have some very good-looking images to look at today. Actually, probably like 15. There's a ton of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 images. 15 images for the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. It's a lot. And we can finally piece together some of what this plot might look like, what this movie will be actually about. Will Grand Admiral Thrawn be there? Will it actually be the heir to the Empire, beginning of a new trilogy? We'll talk about it all. But before we do any of it, let's start off the stream the right way by saying hi to everybody in the chat. Shall we? How's everybody's weekend, chat? Nice Tuesday today. Everybody have a good weekend? Brandon, what is up? Holly, how we doing? Carry on in the house. Brandon Baker, what is up? Starship 66 in the building. Mando United, what's up? Shadow, how we doing? Darth Plagueis lives, what is up? Star Wars Santa is in the house. Matt, how we doing? Tafari Tano, what is up? John Groom in the building. Greg, what is up? Miss Honey, what is up? How you doing? If I missed you, you know the deal. Just yell at me in the chat. Genie from Tahini, what's up? If I missed you, you know the deal. Just yell at me in the chat. Let's give everybody a nice little,
Hello there.
General Kenobi.
Okay. So we got to start with this Mando stuff. We have to. Getting our first official images from this movie is pretty damn cool, and there is a lot of them. So we'll go through all of them one at a time, I guess. And I'll try to start with the best ones. Or maybe we'll save the best ones for last. Possibly. Pipeline Podcast, what's up? How we doing? So, let's take a look at all these images, shall we? Finally, dude. I know we've been talking about The Mandalorian for a long time, but to actually get something physical, something not blurry, filmed on the first ever camera ever invented type, like, this is great. And let's start off with a big one. Boom. Zeb Orrelios looking better than ever. Zeb, Din, Grogu in the cockpit of a Razor Crest. So I kind of started with a banger here. There are ones that aren't as cool as this, but getting Zeb in live action is fan-freaking-tastic because we're going to get even more of him later in the year, next year, with Ahsoka Season 2. So if you don't know, if you've been living under a rock for the last, years, The Mandalorian and Grogu will release on May 22nd of 2026, so just about over 8 months from now. We will be getting The Mandalorian and Grogu movie, the first Star Wars movie in 6.5 years. And Zeb Orrelios will be in the movie, which is incredible. So this was our first image here. You got Grogu sitting on Din's shoulder, something we didn't really see all that much in the first 3 seasons of the series. Usually he was in his little pod-looking thing, or, or in the satchel on his side, like Chewbacca. He wasn't usually on his shoulder like he is here, which he will be in a couple of these images too. Now, the Razor Crest. This has been brought up time and time again. What do we think? Did I just read Plagueis? Yes, you did. You read Darth Plagueis. That is correct. We'll get to that later. Rom, what's up? We'll get to that later. Smilo Ren, how we doing? No worries. I appreciate you coming back. So, Razor Crest, tell me in the chat, do you think that Din Djarin will go back to the Razor Crest in this Mandalorian and Grogu movie? Yes or no? Last we saw him in The Mandalorian Season 3 and the Book of Boba Fett, he got a new ship, an N1 starfighter that looks badass and is very much like a Lamborghini of the sky. It's a very cool sports car type of car that goes really, really fast. Or ship, I should say. And the Razor Crest was more of like a bounty hunter's thing. Because he could put in people frozen in carbonite. He could lug some cargo. With the M1 starfighter, he can't do that. So do we think that he's getting a Razor Crest back again? Yes or no? And will he be stealing it from Zeb Orrelios? Because it looks like Zeb is the one piloting this one. So is Zeb going to gift him this or just be like, hey, I know you miss your Razor Crest quite a bit. You want to just take mine? What do we think? Actually, should we pull this up? Let's pull it up. Let's start the stream with the poll. Why not? Why not? Let's start with the poll. If you haven't smashed a freaking like in this stream, I don't know what the hell you're waiting for. Get on that. Okay. Do you think Din Djarin will get a new Razor Crest? Whoop, that's not how you spell Razor. Razor Crest in Mandalorian and Grogu. M&G. Yes or no? What do we think? Do you think he'll be getting a new Razor Crest? What do we think? Oh my God. Jordan Rennie in the house. What the absolute fuck? Holy crap, Jordan. That's insanely generous. I appreciate it. And Darth Plagueis, I appreciate you too. Don't worry about it. But Jordan Rennie with a very generous $100 super chat. Absolutely insane. It gets me every time. I appreciate that quite a bit. And he says, this is to put on your path towards a Lamborghini of space, Mike. Well, thank you. I would way rather buy an N1 starfighter before I buy a Lamborghini. I am very tall and do not fit into those tiny little cars. So I'd prefer something a lot larger and less low to the ground. But I appreciate it nonetheless. That's insanely generous. Super Chats memberships keep the lights on over here. So I appreciate that. And Darth Plagueis lives with a also very generous $10 holla. Says Mandalorian and Grogu movie, finally! And more Darth Plagueis? Sign me up. Oh, we'll talk about Darth Plagueis later on in this live stream. Indeed, we shall. But Super Chats, of course, insanely generous. You don't have to be as insane as Jordan Rennie, but I love you, Jordan. Don't have to be as insane as Jordan. I appreciate you, Darth Plagueis. I really, really do. Okay. But with that being said, will he be getting a new Razor Crest? So I see a bunch of you saying yes. Right now, the poll is almost 90 to 10. 90% of you saying yes, he will be getting a new Razor Crest. What happens to the N1 starfighter? He just got this cool-ass ship for a season and a half, a season of Mando and a half a season of Book of Boba Fett for nothing? What happens with the M1 starfighter? Who gets that? I don't think, now correct me if I'm wrong. Actually, no, don't correct me if I'm wrong because I know I'm right. I don't think the N1 could fit into the back of the Razor Crest. There's no way that's happening. There's no way. What happened? The super chats aren't enough? I don't think so. So the M1 is just going to be thrown out? Like, what happens there? He just got this pretty cool thing, and now he just doesn't get to use it? Maybe it gets blown up? That would be disastrous. Din Djarin can't get anything nice, you know? His awesome, cool evaporator gun that he has in Season 1 that just literally evaporates Jawas. That's gone. His Beskar spear, gone. His first Razor Crest, gone. And now the M1 starfighter's going to go right along with it? That would be a bummer. He's not having the best luck when it comes to accessories. Din Djarin, that is. I don't know about the M1. Pretty sure that Din keeps it in his as a second vehicle. Interesting. Second vehicle. I like that. Jordan Rennie with a very generous $20 holla on top of the 100. That's insane. It says a Zeb impression, please. I can give you a great Carabast. Hang on, I gotta look it up. I gotta look it up, Jordan. Just for you. Just for you. Hang on, let's see. Zeb saying Carabast. It's the first thing that popped up. Okay. This is all him saying this?
Carabast. 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 What does that even mean?
Right now, it means it's a trap. Carabast.
Carabast. He's got this
Carabast.
Carabast. That's harder than it looks, chat. You try it. God, I appreciate it, Jordan. I really, really do. Oh my God. That's insane. First ever person to reach a 2-year membership. Your pal Joe with the 24-month membership. I know. I haven't made a new... I got to get on that. I got to get on it. What should it be, though? Joe, I feel like you should be the one to decide what it should be for the badge next to your name for 24 months because you're the first one to get there. So what saber are you thinking? It can't be Ahsoka's or Anakin's or Vader's or Qui-Gon's, I think is one of them. I don't even know anymore. So you'll have to figure that out. Okay, but now that we got so distracted, what happens to the M1 Starfighter? Pelimoto could store the N1 for him. True. I just always envisioned it like he could have both, but somehow the M1 would fit into the back of the Razor Crest. Now, I know that doesn't work because the Razor Crest is not nearly big enough, but it'd be great if he was just flying the Razor Crest as sort of like the cargo vessel, and then he could just hop in the N1 and do awesome, cool fight scenes with that. Because I don't want to miss out on the cool space battles with the N1 Starfighter zooming around. Some of the best scenes in Mando Season 3 and in Book of Boba Fett are the N1 fight scenes, or just him flying around in the M1 Starfighter. So I don't really want to give up on that right away. Razor Crest is cool. Don't get me wrong. Razor Crest is awesome. And I can't wait for that to come back. But it also goes to the point where some fans really didn't like the idea that Grogu went back to Din Djarin so quickly. I personally don't mind it as much. I think the Book of Boba Fett is a lot better than most other people do. So I'm not as opposed to it. I like the decision of not joining Luke's Jedi Temple and moving on from that. So I'm more on board with that. However, it almost seems like it's happening again. Din Djarin gives up Grogu and then gets him right back. Din Djarin loses his Razor Crest and then just gets it right back. So I don't know. I like the idea that he's going to get the Razor Crest back. I just want the N1 to still be a part of the action, you know? You know? 4.5 million credits, Mike. I need something to spend them on. Okay, well, you can gamble them away, of course. That's always a good option. But also, we will be doing giveaways soon. I think maybe this month, if not next month and moving forward, where it's not members only. Like, members will still get the giveaway at the end of every month, which, by the way, Cole Rita still got to hit me up. But we'll be doing giveaways based off of credits, too. So, yeah. People who watch, you don't even have to be a member. You can just, yeah. Okay, but moving on, that was just one. Hopefully we get to see the N1 in action and the Razor Crest in action. We'll see. Is the trailer on an official site? No. There's still the leaked trailer, and we can watch that if you want. But these are all images from that leaked trailer. Some are higher quality, like this one. This is extremely high quality. And some are not. But that's our first one, Razor Crest, Zeb Orrelios. Pretty damn badass. Now this other one, again, I started you guys with a bang. Not too crazy. This is Din Djarin. I believe this is in the AT Walker scene. Yeah. So he has just done his epic hallway scene. Din Djarin gets a hallway scene now. Actually, his second one, because he kind of gets one in Season 3 of Mando too. But he gets his hallway scene at the back of an AT Walker, where he's destroying all these different stormtroopers. And this is sort of the end of that. Looking badass as ever. No Grogu. Strangely enough. No Grogu. Maybe he's rescuing Grogu yet again. Or maybe Grogu's doing something else. I don't know. But no Grogu here, interestingly enough. So that's after the hallway scene. That's pretty cool. Then we got this one. Now I don't really know what this one's all about. I don't know where he is here. Walking down a creepy dark hallway. I don't know. It kind of looks like he could be in the back of the AT Walker still, but why is it so dark? Maybe it's after it crashes? Again, still no Grogu. Strangely enough. Do you guys think in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, Grogu will be captured again? Seems like another reoccurring trope. In my opinion, Baylan Skoll has one of the better hallway scenes. His is quick, though. It's like a very quick hallway scene. It's very... I don't know what the word I'm looking for here is. But it is very good. I will give you that. I just don't know if it's just nearly as good as Vader's or Luke's or even Maul's for that matter. Maul's is very underrated. Yeah. Yeah. This does look like the inside of the AT Walker, but why is it so dark? Like in the trailer, it's not this dark. So this must be after it crashes. He must be looking for something. I don't know. He must be looking for something. Okay. Next. Again, this is not in an AT Walker, but you got a dead stormtrooper over there to the right. Right there. I don't know what's going on here. He's seemingly going to face somebody. Is that something in his hand? Or no, that's something behind him. There's nothing in his hand. Again, no Grogu. The lack of Grogu in these pictures is kind of throwing me off. You'd think with a movie called The Mandalorian and Grogu, the two of them would be together for a bit of the time, but I guess not. Maybe he drops Grogu off at daycare before going on these missions. I don't know. I don't know. Need a hallway montage? I'm sure there's some out there on YouTube, but Vader's got one, Luke's got one, Baylan Skoll's got one, Maul's got one, Din Djarin has one, Obi-Wan has one, K2SO has one. You guys are crazy and like that one the best. Yeah. Yeah. He stays on the airship. He could just be on the Razor Crest or the N1. But it gets interesting when we'll get to it in a sec. Actually, let's go to it right now. See if I can find it. Oh, this one. Okay, what's our next one anyway? It gets interesting when this is the same planet that the AT Walker is on. This snow planet, which could be Hoth. It's not been confirmed one way or another if it is or isn't Hoth. But a snow planet where Din and Grogu are walking on this ATST, or a version of it. And Grogu is there. So Grogu is here with Din Djarin right before they go face-to-face with an AT-AT Walker, which you also see in the trailer where Din Djarin's getting his hallway scene in the back of the AT-AT Walker. So where is Grogu? With Bo. Well, that would change a lot of things we don't know about this movie. Bo-Katan, I assume, will be in this movie. Katie Sackhoff all but confirmed it herself earlier this year. And it, of course, makes sense. She was a main character of The Mandalorian Season 3. And the Mandalorians are rebuilding. Din Djarin is a Mandalorian. Grogu is a Mandalorian. So even if they're not a big role in this movie, she'll likely be in the film. I don't think that they'll be going on missions together. I don't think that Bo-Katan will be there with Din and Grogu the entire time. Yeah. Those were in the Clone Wars? Yes, these were the ones that the clones were, which is weird. I'm glad you brought that up. This is from the Clone Wars. Not really an Empire thing. So where the hell did Din Djarin get this from? You know? If it is Hoth, this is where the fun begins. Honestly, we've seen a couple different snowy planets in Star Wars, some ice planets too. You have like Ilum, which I don't think this is. Maybe. Ilum is eventually what turns into Starkiller Base, which is something that not a lot of Star Wars fans actually know about, but Ilum does become Starkiller Base, which is unbelievably cool. So the Empire, or what eventually becomes the First Order, is the ones who terraform the planet, I guess, into Starkiller Base. So what if Din Djarin is on Ilum / Starkiller Base here. That would be crazy. I don't think that's the case, but that would be crazy. Yeah. I think there's like a less than 10% chance that Bo-Katan's in the movie. Just Katie Sackhoff's interview made me like all but confirm that she's in it. I don't think she'll have a big role in the movie, but she'll be in there. Yeah. I don't think she'll be on the main adventure with Din and Grogu, but she'll be in the film. Yeah. So it could be Hoth, could be Ilum, some other snowy planets. The one from the Bad Batch, completely blanking on the name. It was an old Imperial factory or old Imperial base, so it makes sense that this would be where Imperials are still. The Empire does take over the Hoth base in Empire Strikes Back, so it makes sense that they have control of that too. This could be the one at the end of the Clone Wars. Oh, where Ahsoka buries the bodies? I doubt that. That was more of like a moon, like a hidden moon. But it would explain where this AT Walker comes from. Clone Wars. Interesting. Yeah, I think it could. Well, there's always the option that it could be a brand new planet. That's also true. Could be. Maybe it's Earth.
Incorrect.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah. Maybe. Maybe it's Mingito. Is it Mingito? From the Plagueis novel? That would be crazy. We're going to talk about Plagueis later on in this live stream and how he could be brought into canon a lot more in the upcoming future, like near future. But to have the Mandalorian and Grogu movie connect to the Plagueis novel, that would be awesome. It would be so cool. Not even going to lie. That would be so... sign me up. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe it's a new planet. That's always an option, especially with the Mandalorian. The Mandalorian and Grogu, or Mandalorian's first 3 seasons, introduced a ton of new planets. Navarro, and Navarro. I can't think of any other planets in the Mandalorian. What the hell's wrong with me? Mandalore? No. There's a bunch of new planets. The Sanctuary planet, can't think of the name. The what other planets do they go? The Ice planet. Yep. With the Frog Lady. Sure.
I got a bad feeling about this.
I think my brain is broken, Chet. I think my brain is broken. But new Star Wars always tends to introduce new planets. Pretty much every episode of the Skywalker saga introduces at least one new planet. For example, Naboo in The Phantom Menace, Kamino in Attack of the Clones, Mustafar in Revenge of the Sith. I'm sure there's more. Coruscant, of course, but just one per is fine. Tatooine in A New Hope, Hoth in Empire, Endor in Jedi. The Force Awakens has the Starkiller Base, or even Takodana. Last Jedi has Canto Bight. And Rise of Skywalker is Exegol, or Pasana, or whatever it's called. Pasana, whatever. You get the gist. Kajimi. All new Star Wars introduces new planets. For good reason. You don't want to keep going back to the same planet over and over and over again. Tatooine. Sorry. Something was stuck in my throat there. But you don't want to keep going back to the same planet over and over again because that makes the galaxy seem small. When you keep introducing more and more and more new planets, then it makes it feel like an actual enormous galaxy where there's billions upon trillions upon quadrillions of people, living beings in different planets as well. So this is most likely, I think, going to be a new planet. But only time will tell. I wouldn't mind it being Hoth because the only appearance of Hoth is in Empire. And it would make sense for the Imperials to be there because they took over the base on Hoth. So that'll be good. That'll be good. But could be a brand new planet, could be Hoth, could be Ilum, could be any of these snowy planets. Ilum would be the coolest one because it's where Starkiller Base eventually becomes. And that would be a great connection to the sequel trilogy. But I know a lot of people don't like that. Okay, moving on. Then we get a great look here at Grogu. Grogu, who is still wearing the armor that he got in season 3. Now the armor is above his clothing, which is a little strange to me. But he's crawling through some sort of tunnel here. Actually, this might be where he is during the AT-AT battle. Maybe he's climbing through the vents to try and unlock the door for Din Djarin. Could be. He could be like when you're playing Lego Star Wars and you got to be little Annie in the Phantom Menace to go crawl through the vents. Well, that could be it. But we get a great look at him here. You can tell that he's aged up a little bit. I mean, when you look at it side by side to the original time we saw Grogu, look at this. Hang on. The first time we ever saw Grogu, he looked like this. He's grown up quite a bit. Wait, what? Oh, there it is. Whoa, that's extremely zoomed in. Hang on, chat. So you have this. This is Grogu now. And this is Grogu when we first met him in Mando Season 1. I mean, look at that. That's like night and day here. He's grown up so much. Obviously, he physically has grown up, but he's still like 50-something years old now. He's gotten a lot stronger with the Force, training with Luke Skywalker, just becoming older. Maybe he'll go on some sort of growth spurt, but we know for a fact that in canon, Yoda was training Jedi at the age of 100. So at some point over the next 50 years, Grogu has to either have some sort of growth spurt or start speaking or start wielding a lightsaber. Like, he has to do something to be at the point where Yoda was at the age of 100. It's possible. I mean, even humans, we go from growing a shit ton for the first 15 years of your life to not growing at all for the next 40 years of your life. So Grogu could go on some sort of growth spurt over the next couple of years in The Mandalorian, and then by the time of the sequel trilogy or post-sequel trilogy, he could be looking like a young Yoda, training other Jedi. He could be helping out Rey at the new Jedi Order. But we can tell clearly that Grogu has gotten a little bit older. And in the trailer that was leaked, he wields the Force a couple times. So we'll be getting a lot more Grogu wielding the Force and being all cute and badass in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. Yeah. And he's got the Mandalorian armor on. Hey, why doesn't he speak? I mean, going back to my human analogy, humans don't speak until they're what, like 1-ish, give or take. So Grogu, in theory, is still a infant, maybe. I don't even know. The math is really not mathing. When you can live to 900, it's going to take you a little bit longer to speak. And the reason that Yoda spoke backwards is not because of him being 900 years old. It's because of his master. He copied the way that his master taught. I don't know if that's canon or not, but at least in Legends, that's the case. So Grogu is highly likely not going to speak like Yoda did, backwards and in riddles. He'll talk normally, which is going to be weird for a while. Actually, maybe not, because they are almost like leading us in with Yaddle, because we got Yaddle in Tales of the Jedi, and she speaks normally. It's Bryce Dallas Howard's voice, actually, and she speaks normally in sentences, and that's not too weird. But I think it's going to throw a lot of people off when Grogu speaks for the first time, and it's normal. Like, that's going to be weird for a lot of people. So, with that being said, I see a bunch of you guys asking, what do you think Grogu's first words are going to be? It sounds like he says hi in the trailer. It's probably just a bunch more of his baby noises, you know? He's got a bunch of baby noises. Yeah, I think a lot of, is there an Easter egg on the stream? Yes, of course there is. Every live stream forever. Is he? And yes, I'm wearing my Grogu shirt today. I'm wearing my Mandalorian. You know, I knew we'd be talking about Mando today. Even look at that on my shirt. He looks so much younger here. Look at that. Exactly. What is his first words going to be? This is the way. That's a fan favorite for sure. This is the way. Some people think he already said this is the way in Mando season 3, but I don't buy it. I don't buy it. It would be crazy. It'd be crazy because he's been dead for 2 seasons, but it'd be crazy if his first words were, "I have spoken," or if he goes, "This is the way. I have spoken." Because Queel was a great character for season 1, but he helped Din and Grogu so much. He sort of brought the two of them together. Grogu's first words will be "Good night, everybody." That would be awesome. Yeah. His first words are going to be, "I got a bad feeling about this." That's a pretty long first words.
I got a bad feeling about this.
I don't know. How many years have passed since Mando has found Grogu? Honestly, I don't know. The timeline there is very undefined. We know that it's 5 years after the Battle of Endor that the first season takes place. Now, it's very hard to judge how much time passes in between Mando's seasons, but you even have other shows like Book of Boba Fett in between season 2 and 3, Ahsoka and Skeleton Crew before this movie. So we really have no idea how much time has passed. Hopefully, like Andor did, where they told us what year it was, they'll tell us what year it is at the beginning of this movie. But because they have to do some sort of crawl to explain what's going on here for normie fans who have no idea who Din and Grogu are, or even if they do, they don't know when it takes place on the timeline. So there'll have to be some sort of date, like 6 years after the Battle of Endor. I don't know. But I don't know. I really don't know how long it's been. Grogu's first words will be, "Say what?" That'd be great. His first words will be, "Hello there, hello there." I'd like that too. But is it Alec Guinness's "hello there" or Ewan McGregor's "hello there"? Because Ewan McGregor's more like this,
Hello there.
and Alec Guinness was more like, "Hello there," you know? When he says it to R2-D2. Okay. But this is Grogu. Great look at Grogu right there. This is one of the best images we got so far in terms of, this one's good too. Another good look at Grogu here, using the Force. So this hand is actually the hand of Sigourney Weaver's character, who is rumored to be named, see, now I already forget. It's not Ripley, or is it Ripley? No, it's not Ripley. It's it had something to do with her alien character. I can't think of it for the life of me now. Somebody help me in the chat. But Bishop, thank you. Yes, Bishop. Okay. Rumored to be named Bishop. Supposed to be a New Republic officer. We don't know what her ranking is, but she's supposed to be a New Republic officer who's giving Din Djarin and Grogu missions. Yes, Bishop, thank you. So that's what's happening here, and Grogu's just using the Force because he's awesome. And, of course, he's using the Force to get food because he's awesome. Did I mention that Grogu was awesome? Yeah. Sigourney! I really hope that Grogu's first words are, "Sigourney!" It'd be awesome. Have I said awesome yet enough in this live stream? Because that'd be awesome. Okay, but that's Grogu using the Force, being all cute and badass. Here we get sort of the exact same scene where Grogu's about to wield the Force to grab that bowl. Sigourney over here on the right. They are in some sort of New Republic base. We don't know if it's the one on Adelphi, the base that we see at the end of Mando Season 3. It doesn't look like it. It looks different. So we're going to get another base for that. But let's take a look at Din Djarin here. Not much has changed in terms of armor for the character. I mean, he's got the badass all Beskar armor that looks incredible. So not much needs to change. But we don't really know the missions that she's sending them on, why they need Din Djarin to do it and the New Republic can't do it. But has to do with the remnant of the Empire, has to do with AT-AT walkers, and hopefully it has to connect to Grand Admiral Thrawn. Because it would be great if Din Djarin was the one who found out that Thrawn was back. He probably doesn't know who Thrawn is. Maybe he's heard of him before. But if he's the one who found out there's a big old threat happening in the Outer Rim and has to go tell the New Republic. The New Republic, who, by the way, probably won't listen to him. We saw that in Ahsoka. They're not ready to fight. They don't want to fight at all. They don't even believe that Thrawn is still alive, but they're not ready to fight at all either. They don't have control of the galaxy. The Outer Rim is complete chaos. That's why the remnant of the Empire has been able to survive. So it'll be very interesting to see the dynamic of the New Republic in this movie. Because in Ahsoka, it's established that they don't know how to do anything. They're really struggling to even survive themselves, never mind fight a threat. They don't need that. So it'll be very cool to see what happens with the New Republic, because I don't think they're ready to fight anybody, but I also don't think that they're ready to admit they're wrong and that Thrawn is truly back, even with Ezra, because Ezra is all the proof that they should need to go, okay, Thrawn is back, but I don't even know if that's going to be enough. They're too stupid. They're just too dumb, you know? They're like, nah, we'll be fine until they lose Coruscant. Yeah. Even Ezra, though, him being back is one thing, but them believing what he's saying is another. They have more concerns than Thrawn at this point. They think the Empire is gone. They don't even have enough supplies to support their own people, never mind the Outer Rim. So they're just trying to survive at this point, you know? Another Mike who loves Star Wars, what's up? Grogu's first words will be super chats, keep the lights on over here. Hope so. New Republic is pretty much useless in Skeleton Crew. They had pirates running around committing atrocities. Atrocities, sorry. Yeah, I mean, the New Republic is pretty useless at this point. We've seen it throughout the entire Mandalorian, but also in Ahsoka and Skeleton Crew. They only show up at the very end after the kids already have saved the day. So pretty much, they don't do anything. So when it comes to how the New Republic reacts to Thrawn's return, it's going to be like they're caught on their heels. They're going to be like, holy crap, I didn't realize that this guy was such a big threat. He's got Night Sisters. He's got an army. We're screwed. And that's when the other heroes come into play. Because when we talk about the people who are going to go face to face with Thrawn, we're talking about Din Djarin, Grogu, Bo-Katan, Cobb Vanth, Boba Fett, Fennec Shand, the Vespa Gang, of course. Can't not mention them. Harrison Dula in the Rebels crew. Of those people, the only one that currently has a position in the New Republic is Harrison Dula. I take that back. Din Djarin is kind of working for the New Republic now, but Harrison Dula and Din Djarin. I got to sneeze, Chad. Hang on. And it's gone. Never mind. Okay, but those people who are the heroes, seemingly, of this upcoming Heir to the Empire story are not New Republic people. They're people who are going to defy the orders of the New Republic to win the war. They're pretty much rebels. This is a group of rebels that are going to take down the Empire because the New Republic is too stupid to even see it coming. So, yeah. I don't think the New Republic is going to be all that much help. I hate fake out sneezes. They're the worst. I hate sneezes in general, but when you're like, oh, I'm going to sneeze, and then you commit to being like, all right, my life's over, and then, you don't sneeze. Cad Bane's corpse, too. Star Wars posted something about Cad Bane today, and it piqued my interest. It did. They posted a thing about Book of Boba Fett, Cad Bane versus Boba Fett. Very strange that they posted that on a random Tuesday in September. Really weird. Really weird. Don't forget about Carson Teva. Carson Teva is the only New Republic person that we've met so far that cares at all. That cares in the slightest. Like, he's the only one. That's it. Hiccups are the worst. I think sneezing is worse than hiccups. Hiccups you can, deal with, and they'll go away eventually. I guess sneezing goes away in 2 seconds, but still, How do we get onto this conversation? Okay, that's why Leia starts the resistance. Exactly. Leia starts the resistance in the first place because the New Republic is so stupid. That's pretty much the idea. Yeah. Zeb cares. True. The Ghost crew cares because they went through the rebellion in the first place. They've already been there, done that. They know that there's a threat out there, and the war is not over. Yeah. I don't think the New Republic will fully acknowledge Thrawn at all because they didn't think that the First Order was a threat either. They might be taking more seriously if they had learned about him. I think the First Order is going to rise to power because of Thrawn. I think whatever the events of this Heir to the Empire stuff, however it goes down, it's going to allow the First Order to come to power. Maybe it's because Thrawn fails and the First Order just takes the rest of his failure and turns it into greatness. Maybe Snoke is the missing piece with Palpatine pulling the strings from behind the scenes. I still am of the mind that Thrawn is not the threat. Obviously, he's a threat, but he's not the threat. I think he's still just trying to protect his people, and he's going to be warning the rest of the galaxy about some bigger threat. Probably Abeloth on Peridea, because he spent 11 years on Peridea, but I don't think he's going to be the guy who just wants to take over the galaxy just to have power. He's not Palpatine. He's not Plagueis. He's not Vader. He just wants to protect his people. So how they go about that, I don't know. But it seems like however he's defeated, whether he's killed or not, is going to lead to the creation of the First Order. And that's why they come to power. Not because Thrawn isn't a bad guy, because he is, but he's not a bad guy. I'll show you. Well, let's get to this first. So I saw this today. It's Timothy Zahn's birthday today. So they posted this. In honor of Timothy Zahn's birthday, a reminder that Dave Filoni revealed at Star Wars Celebration Europe 2023 that he consulted Timothy Zahn about how to bring Thrawn into live action. Because he said, we want to make sure that we get it right. Thrawn's going to be in live action a lot now. So Timothy Zahn's going to be on board helping out. He's the guy who wrote the story. He's the guy who knows Thrawn the best, who wrote the entire story about why he joined the Empire in the first place, to protect his people. And that is going to stay consistent throughout the entirety of him being the villain in Mando. Hopefully. So he won't be a Palpatine-esque villain. He'll be a strategical genius. He'll win a bunch of wars, but he'll be doing it for a different cause, a cause that people might actually agree with him and look at the New Republic as the bad guys. Star Wars has always done this, not always, but does this a little bit, where in certain Clone Wars arcs or arcs in the Bad Batch, I guess, or wherever, every once in a while, they'll try to make you think that maybe the bad guys aren't really the bad guys, or that bad, for that matter. Sometimes you meet a villain who you feel for because you see what they went through and that it wasn't really their choice. Think about Darth Vader, for example. He's killed countless people, thousands upon thousands of people, Jedi, pedestrians, citizens, very peaceful people, and yet we still love the guy. You still love Anakin. You still root for him. When he shows up in Ahsoka, you cheer. Like, this guy murdered thousands of people, and yet we still like the guy. And it's because of his journey, because of his story. He's evil for the reasons that are shown throughout the prequel trilogy. It's not, I don't want to say it's not his fault, because it's definitely his fault, but it's not entirely, what happened? It's not entirely his fault. So there's things that are behind it. So Grand Admiral Thrawn is very similar. He hasn't murdered thousands of people, at least he's probably murdered a bunch of people, but not as many as Vader. And he joined the Empire to protect his people and is seemingly doing this to protect his people too. Mike, I missed the giveaway on Saturday. Who got it? It was Cole Reeder. And Cole, you got to hit me up still because you haven't hit me up yet. Yeah, you have 1 week. So with that being said, I think the First Order rises to power quickly because of Snoke, because of Palpatine, but because of Thrawn's inability to take control of the galaxy. The heir to the Empire is going to fail. And it would be very cool if they made a Mando trilogy, in the final episode of that trilogy is titled Heir to the Empire, but it's not talking about Grand Admiral Thrawn. It's talking about the First Order. And Thrawn fails, he loses in the movie, and everybody's like, oh, the Heir to the Empire is a failure, and then boom, First Order, Snoke, all this greatness that leads into the sequel trilogy. That is the true Heir to the Empire. That'd be pretty cool. Using that little double meaning thing that they love to do with The Mandalorian. That'd be great. Yeah. Yeah. Darth Vader didn't have too much of a reason to go and slaughter younglings. His wife wasn't even dead. He was just dumb. Yes and no. Yes and no. There's a little bit more than just that, than he was dumb. But yeah. Palpatine will definitely do something to kickstart off the First Order. I think so, but I don't know if we'll see that. I mean, he creates Snoke. We know that. So, I don't know. I don't know if we'll see that visually. We'll know that, but I don't know if we'll see that. Yeah. So, happy birthday to Timothy Zahn. Shout out Timothy Zahn. That's pretty cool. But, getting back to our images here. How do we even get there? Okay, getting back to our images here, we got another one of Grogu eating something. Star Wars version of popcorn, maybe? I don't know. This is happening during the gladiator fight with Stinky the Hutt. Yes, you heard that correct. Stinky the Hutt is returning, confirmed, for the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, voiced by Jeremy Allen White, who you may know from things like The Bear, or he's going to be in, he's playing Bruce Springsteen in a biopic, but he's done a bunch of other things. Jeremy Allen White, if you've seen The Bear, he plays Carmy. He'll be voicing Stinky the Hutt, meaning Stinky the Hutt can speak, of course, now. The Hutts usually speak in Huttese. I don't know, not all of them, but I don't know if he'll be speaking in English or Huttese. But getting a voice of a Hutt to be such a big actor means he's probably going to have a somewhat big role. So getting to see Stinky the Hutt back after all these years is going to be pretty cool. But the fact that he is voiced by Jeremy Allen White means he could play a big role. Now, I rewind all the way back to the first original leaks for The Mandalorian and Grogu's plot, which was that it would be entirely about Stinky the Hutt, who got captured by the bounty hunter Embo. And I still see there being no way that that's the entire plot of the movie. But that could be a portion of the movie. Why Din Djarin would have to rescue Stinky the Hutt from Embo, I don't know. I have no idea. But that could still play a role in the story. So this is Grogu and Din Djarin watching this fight. And we also have a way clearer view of Stinky himself. So here he is in a Coliseum, much like Thor versus Hulk in Thor Ragnarok, where you get this awesome, cool, we used to work together, we're friends from work, or whatever he says. That would be pretty cool. But I don't know who he's going to be fighting in here. Maybe he's fighting Embo. Maybe that's where the leaks got wrong. He's fighting somebody, but he's shredded out of his mind. I mean, it looks like he's a lot more fit than his dad, Jabba. And he's, looks like he just won. Or maybe this is like his entrance, and he's like, introducing in this corner, Stinky. Don't call him Stinky, he'll get mad. The Hutt. Maybe something like that. And then, I don't know who he's fighting, but it looks like there's some sort of like tentacle or something coming out of this door, doesn't it? What is that? And two glowing eyes. You seeing this, chat? Are you seeing this? It's like two glowing eyes there and then some weird like tentacle thing. So we don't know who he's going to be fighting, but that is the Stinky the Hutt image and Grogu watching with popcorn in hand. I don't know. Do you guys believe the rumors that we're going to see, we're going to actually see him? That's going to be the plot of the movie. Stinky the Hutt gets captured by Embo. You think? You think? I certainly hope not. It could be a part of the plot. It could be like Return of the Jedi, where the opening sequence is all about them getting Han out of carbonite, and then the Sarlacc pit stuff and killing Jabba the Hutt. And then the rest of the movie is Endor and killing Palpatine and taking down the Empire. I certainly hope so. Okay, let's Brandon, you want to get rid of that guy? Thank you. I appreciate it. Or Fearless, or either one. So Stinky the Hutt, there you have it. I certainly hope this gladiator sequence. I don't even know how you make this slug guy fight, you know? Sure, he's buff, whatever. He can't be like doing front flips or anything. He's a slug. How else would this work? How else does that work? Hang on, we got a super chat. Before we continue, we got a super chat. Hang on. Ron with the insanely generous $20 holla. Goddamn, I appreciate that. Says, these pictures are great. Thanks for all the research and explanation. I do wish that we would have gotten a full trailer, hopefully soon. Well, first of all, thank you very much. I appreciate you. And I do think that the trailer will be coming before Christmas. And I know it sounds like Christmas is so far away, but we're already in September. So you got September, October, November, December. So at some point over the next 4 months, I know, sounds crazy, we will be getting the trailer for this movie. Now, I certainly hoped it would have been last weekend. That would have been great. If we were just watching the Mando trailer on repeat today, that would be amazing. But that wasn't the case. So, no trailer. But these images do hold us for at least the time being. They keep us entertained. Hopefully they mean trailer coming soon. What I don't get, and maybe it's just me because I'm crazy, but I don't get, they have multiple trailers. They showed the trailer at Star Wars Celebration. They showed the trailer last year at D23. They have these trailers done and ready to go. Why not just release them publicly? You know? I get it. You want to grow up the hype closer to the movie's release, but just, you know, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Something. Just something. Especially when you have an upcoming lull in Star Wars content. Take a step back. We are 17 days away. 17 days away from the next Star Wars project, and that's Rebuild the Galaxy Season 2. That comes out on September 19th. And then a month later, in October, I believe October 29th or 20-something, Visions Volume 3. So we got 2 upcoming Star Wars projects in the near future. After that, I don't know when the next project's going to be. It's supposed to be the Maul series, but we don't know when the release date for that is yet. So I assume in that lull after Visions Volume 3 releases, that's when the Mando trailer will drop, because there'll be no Star Wars content happening, and they can hype up the Mandalorian and Grogu movie like beyond belief. Hopefully. But we do have 2 Star Wars projects coming up, one this month and one the following month. So I appreciate that super chat, Ron. I really, really do. If you guys have not checked out Star Wars Jedi Chat podcast, get on it. Every Wednesday they are live, and I'm usually on there, and I probably will be tomorrow too. Yeah. Yeah. You know, I don't really care when people come into the chat like that, just to sort of put a pin on this really quickly. Whenever they're coming after me, I don't care. Call me a shill all you want. I like Star Wars. But, and I like Disney Star Wars too. But once you start attacking other people in the chat, or saying, of course, things like swear words and stuff like that, you gotta go. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Every day I wake up, I choose to believe that the trailer will come out today. When it doesn't, I choose to believe that it will come out the next. That is the quote of the day right there from Cyclops. Every day I wake up, I choose to believe that this Mando trailer will come out today. But when it doesn't, I choose to believe that it will come out the next day. That is so good. Oh, that's so good. Right? Cyclops says, I wish I was a Disney shill. I'm out here liking Disney Star Wars for free.
This is where the fun begins.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Disney, hit me up. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Probably no Mando and Grogu trailer until early 2026. Oh, it's so far away. I don't know. Depends on when we get a Maul trailer. It depends on when Maul releases. Because the Maul series could be early 2026, like January, February. Could be March. But it's got to come out, I think, before the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, because Ahsoka's going to come out after. After. Yeah. But we'll see. All right, moving on to the next image. So Stinky the Hutt, great. Grogu watching with his nice little popcorn, whatever that is, Star Wars popcorn, cool. Then we got Grogu back on the shoulder. Now this scene actually, or this location, this bar setting, this is in a bunch of different pieces of the trailer. You see Din Djarin kick some guy into the bar at some point here, so that's, you know, it's going to be a big-ish location. I still believe that all of these 15 plus images or whatever we're looking at today, they're all going to be in the first couple 30 minutes of the movie. Like, they don't really show a lot towards the end of the movie, especially with these teaser trailers. Now, maybe there's a few scenes here or there that are towards the end of the movie, but usually it's still first half of the movie, first whatever, to just lay the groundwork. This will be one of the opening scenes, I'm sure, in this bar. Then we get Grogu. And some Anzelins. Now, to clear the air, this is not Babu Frick, sadly. This is not Babu Frick, but these are the same Anzelins, I assume. They look the same, from Mando Season 3. So we do have already confirmed some character crossovers from The Mandalorian, which is cool. Again, Grogu is wearing the Mandalorian armor right there, the mud horn signet on it. And they, I believe, are inside of a mouse droid. At least that's what the trailer kind of lends you to believe. Maybe not, but you got two Anzelins and Grogu hanging out, controlling some sort of operative thing. I don't know what, but that's cool. I mean, Babu Frick is the best character in Star Wars. I mean, obviously. So getting to see anybody back like that is pretty cool. Hey, hey! Exactly. Okay. Next up. Next up we got this. This was the image I used for the thumbnail of today's live stream. Or one of them, I suppose. Same bar that we saw a couple images ago here. Right there. Looks like the same bar, at least. This is one of the highest quality ones. Grogu still sitting on his shoulder. Don't really know what's in his hand here. Maybe sack of money or something. I don't know what that is. Something in his hand. Something in his hand. Actually, aren't these the bullets for the evaporator gun? I just want to see some Jawas get evaporated again. I have to go rewatch Mando Season 1. But, so, don't know what he's doing at this bar. Maybe looking for information, something along those lines. But that's pretty cool. This is one of the best images we got. Grogu looking like he's got a mohawk or something. Yeah. Next up, another Zebarelli's one. This one's sort of blurry, but you kind of see the Razor Crest over there in the background. Zeb, Din Djarin, Grogu walking along. He's a lot bigger here. Looks a lot bigger, at least. You got a guy behind them in the, I guess, iconic X-Wing pilot uniform from A New Hope. And then you have R5. R5 is the droid from Mando Season 3, but he's also the droid that Luke and Uncle Owen almost buy instead of R2-D2. The droid that had a bad motivator. Uncle Owen! This droid is a bad motivator! That's this guy over here. And Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, the goats that they are, took a character like this, brought him back, and gave him his moment to shine. Because, why not? So, having R5 back in the movie, it's going to be pretty cool. Doubt he'll have a big role, but maybe he'll be Din Djarin's droid still. Because he was sort of his droid in Season 3 of Mando, so it'd be nice to Keep an astromech around. You think Din Djarin saw R2-D2 with Luke Skywalker at the end of Mando Season 2 and went, I want one of those. You know, I'll take one. That'd be nice. Does he have a good motivator now? Yes. I mean, he's been fixed up. Pelimoto actually fixed him up. Yeah. But just yet again, the cool part of being a hardcore Star Wars fan, I guess, getting to see these little cool details be brought back to life years and years and years and years and years and years later. Yeah, insert the Leonardo DiCaprio meme here. Exactly. So R5 makes his return in the movie on the big screen for the first time since 1977. That should be the headline. In the first time since 1977, R5 returns to the big screen. That has to be it. That has to be it. But here we also get a full body look at Zeb Orrelios. I think this is the first time because we see him in the bar, but that's not really his full body. He's looking a little skinny there. I mean, Zeb, have a couple more Jawa juices. Have a couple more of those macaroons that Grogu was eating. You know, live a little. You know, just ice cream every once in a while. How about a slice of cake? It's Timothy Zahn's birthday. Jeez. Okay, and then this is not the last. Oh, it is. Maybe one of the last images we got. This is the AT-AT fight scene right before it happens. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 at least stormtroopers, and they are the snow troopers that we saw in Hoth and Empire Strikes Back. So that's going to be cool. I can't wait to hear the complaints about these blasters. I can already see it now. But Din Djarin's about to walk in that back door, or blast in that back door, and kill all of these guys. This is our best look yet. Bringing back the Snow Trooper makes you think Hoth could just be another planet that has snow, but still pretty cool. And is this the first time we've seen the inside of an AT-AT Walker? I don't really know. I can't remember off the top of my head ever seeing the inside of one before this. That wasn't the cockpit, I guess. I don't know. All right, I think after seeing all those images, we should watch the trailer. Thoughts, chat? We do have other news to get to, of course, today, but I say we watch the trailer. I know it's going to be really grainy, but let's watch it anyway. Shall we? Is this it? This has been up for a month. Contact. Whoa. I think this is the same trailer. Yeah, this is it. Okay. So all those images that you just got to see in nice, bright, HD looking stuff, this is in very grainy. This was at Star Wars Celebration, I believe.
Walker 3 is gone.
Send everybody.
Understood.
Last image right there. Boom. So right there. Boom. So that is this. Look at how nice and clean that is. And then we got this grainy. I mean, you're talking about the guy who gave us Iron Man, Jon Favreau. You're talking about the guy who gave us 3 seasons of The Mandalorian. We're going to get some insane action sequences in this movie. They know that this is the first time Star Wars has been on the big screen in 7 years. They understand the objective here. This is going to be... Oh, do you think that Grogu got captured by these guys? Because he's like rescued him or something and then he's flying away? I don't know. It is kind of funny because Din Djarin goes from Razor Crest to M1 Starfighter to just jetpack. That's Navarro. There's a big question that needs to be answered in this Mando and Grogu movie. What's going to happen to Greef Karga? Sadly, Carl Weathers has passed away since we saw him last in The Mandalorian Season 3. He was the leader of Navarro. Navarro is where Din and Grogu are out of now. This could be Zeb coming to pick up Din and Grogu in his Razor Crest. That'd be kind of cool. But how are they going to go about that? How do you think they should go about this? Because you can't recast him. Carl, of course, being an enormous actor in and of himself, but he's already been in 3 seasons. He's already established himself as a somewhat main character in the Mando time period. How do you go about his death? Or are they not going to kill his character off? What do you guys think the move is here? Do you kill his character off screen to maybe further develop the story? Like if Thrawn is the one who kills Navarro or destroys Navarro, you could do something like that? Or do you keep him alive and take him off screen like they did with Cara Dune, where they took her and put her on some special ops and now we'll never see her again? What do you do with Grief Karga? Maybe they'll use unused footage like they did with Leia. Maybe, but you're very limited with that. And with Leia, it was kind of easy because she wasn't a main character of Rise. Now, she was, but she wasn't. And Grief Karga wouldn't be a main character either. Permanent vacation. I just don't know what the most, I guess, respectful way and best way for the story is. Because I feel like Grief Karga's death will piss off Din Djarin and in turn make the stakes feel higher. Especially if it's Thrawn who kills him. Or the Empire in general who kills him. I don't know. The explosion of the AT-AT is the exact replica of the Ralph McQuarrie painting? What? Ralph McQuarrie painting of an AT-AT or an AT-AT exploding? He went with Cara Dune, so you want him to just go off screen. You don't want him to be killed off? Cara Dune will come back and run the planet? Well, then where does Grief Karga go? He was so devoted to Navarro, it's hard to imagine him just jetting off somewhere else. Exactly. He's been on Navarro for so long, and now he's the leader. He's not just going to leave. I don't know. Either way, it's going to be in the movie. Whatever they decide to do, kill him, not kill him, put him off screen, that'll be there. That's going to be something that's going to be very important. Probably to just kickstart off the movie, to explain what happened. I mean, they could have a funeral for the character while also having sort of a funeral for Carl himself in the movie. Could be. He had a rivalry with the pirates. Maybe they kill him. They kind of did that already in Mando Season 3, though. The pirates come to take over, and then the Mandalorians come in and save the day. Like one of the coolest action sequences in Season 3. Can I get some good cups, follow orders, please? Bumpa! Give him a nice statue monument next to IG-11. That's what I think will probably happen. That's probably the most likely thing to happen. Yeah. Hang on, we got a super chat. Hang on, chat. We got a super chat. Holly with a very generous $5 holla. I appreciate that, Holly. Says, those AT-ATs are the same ones that Thrawn uses in Rebels. Hang on. What are you saying to me? What are you telling me here, Holly? Let's go check it out. AT-ATs. They're different from the ones on Hoth? Hang on. Let's see. Can I get a better image of this? Let's see. Let's go to the good old Google. Mandalorian and Grogu AT-ATs. Let's see. No. AT-AT. Okay. 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 Let's see. So you're saying that these AT-ATs are different than those? Wait, hang on. Let's see. Thrawn's AT-AT. Rebels. Well, that's not helpful. Can somebody send the image to the Discord, maybe? Because I can't seem to find it. I found the one in the Mandalorian, but I can't find the one that Thrawn uses in Rebels. So this is the one from here. So you're telling me these are different than the ones on Hoth? They definitely look so. I mean, just the front of them do. Hang on, let's see. AT-AT Hoth. Let's see. No, they look the same. A little different, actually. A little bit different. They don't have those. They do actually. They're slightly bigger. So you look at this, like these little ball things down here. That's what's missing on these ones. But everything else is pretty much the same. Right? Actually, this part is slightly different. The window and everything. That's different. Interesting. Interesting. So they're the ones that Thrawn has, is what you're saying. These are Thrawn teases. That's what I'm hearing. Maybe Navarro gets under attack by pirates again and nobody's there to save them. That would be devastating. Do you think Din will take his helmet off in the film? I'm glad you asked that. The rumor is that Pedro Pascal was on set at some point. Now, as we know, Pedro Pascal has been the voice of Din Djarin from the beginning, but we've only seen his face twice. It's crazy. We've gotten, or 3 times, I guess. We've gotten so much of the character of Din Djarin, and we've only seen his face 3 times. In both the final 2 episodes of season 2, the Bill Burr episode, and then the finale where he says goodbye to Grogu, and the end of season 1, when the only person who sees his face is IG-11. So to see his face again would be a very, very important moment. It would have to be. Either somebody takes his helmet off, or he takes it off because he's dying. Because season 3 was pretty much establishing that he's never going to take that helmet off again. That's it. So let's ask the class. I don't know. What do you guys think, chat? Do you think Din Djarin will take the helmet off in this Mandalorian and Grogu movie? He didn't take it off in Mando season 3. He didn't take it off in the Book of Boba Fett. It's been a while. We haven't seen his face since 2020. Since season 2 came out 5 years ago. Let's see. Images is in. Oh, if you guys are not yet in the Discord, there's a link in the description below to a Discord called The People Who Love Star Wars. Go join it immediately. Okay. So you're telling me. Oh, yeah, you're right. You are absolutely right. Yep. These AT-ATs in Rebels are the exact same as these AT-ATs in the trailer, but slightly different than these on the Battle of Hoth. You can tell by the top of it and the window there and the little thing, the ball thing down there at the bottom. There's no top thing here. The window's a lot bigger. There's these ball things on the bottom. Slightly different. But the same as the Rebels ones that Thrawn has. Thing on the top, bigger window, ball thing here. Interesting. See, now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting places. I like that. I like it a lot. Okay, let's get back to the trailer. So Navarro showing us the action sequences because it's a trailer, but there are so many. The fight in the bar, the AT-AT hallway scene, that epic chase scene with the AT-ATs as well. Like, you're going to get so much action in just 2.5, 3 hours, whatever it's. And then Stinky the Hutt at the end. So, trailer still not released publicly, but I guess that's as public as it gets right there, just not in HD. But the images we got today, or a couple days ago, I guess, are worth every bit of the wait, I guess. Getting this and seeing this in HD, I guess, is so damn cool. Razor Crest, Zeb, Din Djarin, Grogu, and all these other images that we looked at. It's just something finally to latch onto to look at. It's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah. Okay. But with that being said, we got to move on because we got a lot of other stuff to talk about today. I want to talk about Darth Plagueis because this has got me so hyped up. Okay. Let's take a look at this. There's a new Vader novel coming, which, by the way, this is the cover to it. Looks awesome. But Darth Vader and the Emperor discuss Darth Plagueis in the first Star Wars Master of Evil excerpt. So take a look at this. The next entry into the dark saga that is Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine hits bookshelves this November. So this book doesn't release until November. Star Wars Master of Evil might be the most personal yet, written by Adam Christopher, who wrote Shadow of the Sith. Now, if you have ever listened to this live stream, I'm sure you've heard me mention Shadow of the Sith a million times because it's an incredible book. But this upcoming novel dives deep into the mind of Vader in his early days as a Sith Lord. So early days Vader with Palpatine training him and manipulating him and torturing him, all the greatness that is the relationship between Palpatine and Vader. So here we got the first excerpt from this book. So here's the cover, by the way. So cool. So here's the excerpt. So it's about, oh wow, it's a lot longer than I thought it was. All right, let's take a look. I sense something within you, my apprentice. I will not be doing the voices like they do on Audible, sorry, but I won't do it. I sense something within you, my apprentice. Vader's masked head jerked up at the words, but he did not answer. He just stared at the back of the throne. Throne room? Desire, said the Emperor. He gave a short, slow chuckle as the throne turned around of its own accord until the master faced the apprentice. So we're in the throne room right now. But which throne room? Because it's not the second Death Star. So I guess just a different throne. Faced his apprentice. Only the lower portion of the Emperor's face was visible beneath his wide cowl, but eyes of yellow glittered from the dark shadow within. Classic Palpatine. You have a thirst for power, Lord Vader. This I am pleased with, but it is your thirst for knowledge that I find interesting. Again, a low chuckle. And the knowledge of course, how to save Padme. The Emperor leaned forward just a little, his voice dropping to a high, subliant whisper. The voice of an old, enwizened man, which he most certainly was not, despite appearances. Perhaps he saw something in the cave on Mustafar. Vader did not speak, but he lowered his head in supplication to his master once more. Or perhaps something in a cave something in that cave saw into you. So we went into a cave on Mustafar. Already sign me up. We're talking Luke Skywalker on Dagobah, but Vader on Mustafar? Sign me up. At this, Vader looked up again. The Emperor's dark white face was now exposed by the lights. His features pulled back into a rictus grin. Rictus grin, sorry. Power you already have, my apprentice. The more you have, the more you seek. The thirst for it will drive you, as it drives all the Sith. This is good. The Emperor pauses, and his voice dropped again. But knowledge can be a dangerous thing. There are some aspects of the dark side you will not learn until you are ready to learn. And it is I who will decide when the time is right. I'm currently reading the Darth Plagueis novel, by the way, and this is seems like an excerpt from that novel. Just plain and simple. It sounds exactly like it. When Plagueis is teaching Palpatine, this is Palpatine teaching Vader, and it's like the exact same lesson. Plagueis keeps so much information from Palpatine, and then eventually he tells him, but it eventually leads to his demise. So I don't know if this is a break in the story, and this is a different... No, it's the same scene. I seek only answers, my master. Lord Vader hesitates. His breathing fills the space, of course, again before he continues. You promised to guide me along the pathway of the dark side. Take care, Lord Vader, the Emperor snaps. There are secrets I have shared and secrets yet to be unlocked. Your journey is still in its infancy. Yes, my master. Ambition is good, but it may also be your downfall. Bum, bum, bum. Yes, my master. Vader looked down. Then his head snapped up. But I am ready to learn. You said you could teach me. That's very whiny baby Anakin. But I'm ready to learn. That's actually more whiny baby Luke. But Skywalkers are whiny nonetheless. The Emperor stood quickly, his speed belaying the apparent fragility of his body. He stepped forward on the dais, sure, and looked down on his apprentice, and he laughed. Quickly at first, before the sound became blood-curdling, witch-like cackle. I'm not doing a Palpatine cackle because I'm not good at it, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. You were enamored with the story, were you not? Asked the Palpatine. The tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise. Oh yes, the dark side has the power to hold back death, even to venture beyond it. He stepped closer to Vader, pointing one gnarled finger at him. That is what you want to know, is it not? The secrets that lie beyond. You think they will allow you to reunite with her. Do you not? Talking about Padme, Vader's blank gaze did not waver from his master's glare. It is what you promised me, my master. Okay, so where do I order this book at? This is exactly what I've wanted to see from Vader and Palpatine for a very long time. Vader was promised the ability to save Padme from Palpatine. Padme dies, but that promise was still there. So Vader, of course, becomes the apprentice to Palpatine, takes over the galaxy with him, rules over the galaxy for a long, long time. But that promise was always still there. So this book seemingly is going to dive into that, which is awesome. He's saying, you loved that tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise, all the power the dark side could give you, the power to extend somebody's life or even venture beyond it. Those are the secrets that I'm holding from you. Those are the secrets that you can learn from me. Isn't that what you want? And he's like, that's what you told me I'd get, buddy. That's what I want. That's why I signed up for this whole thing. That's why I killed a bunch of younglings. That's why I did all the stuff you wanted me to. That's why this is why I wanted it. Yes, obviously. Duh. That's why I'm here. That's why I killed everybody. Just so I could learn that. Where was I? The Emperor dropped his hand. His face twisted with sudden anger. There is much you must learn, Lord Vader, including patience. He walked back to his throne. Perhaps I should not have let you see the power of the virgins on Mustafar so soon. Of virgins on Mustafar? We're talking virgins in the Force? Hang on. He turned back to Vader. Perhaps you are not as ready as I thought. I've overestimated your ability to understand. So he's getting mad now that Vader was like, you promised me this, buddy. Where's my promise? And he's talking about a virgins on Mustafar. So little is known about the virginses in the Force in Star Wars. When you think of that, you probably think of the Acolyte, but there's more to that. There's a virgins in the Force on Dagobah. That's the cave that Luke goes into. And now we're talking about a virgins in the Force on Mustafar. Also likely the virgins in the Force was on Ahch-To, where Rey goes into that tunnel and sees herself, like in the reflection, and that whole thing where she snaps. That was most likely a virgins as well. So these Force, these places that are very strong within the Force that could give you something like a Force vision of Luke fighting himself as Vader in a cave on Dagobah, something like that. This sounds like the aftermath of Vader going into a cave on Mustafar in some sort of virgins of the Force in whatever he saw. To me, this sounds like he's going to see Padme in some sort of way, like the promise that he was promised being actually there in this cave. And that's probably why he is the way that he is in this scene. Again, just an excerpt from this book, probably not the beginning, but at least a big part in it. So he went to the virgins on Mustafar, and he doesn't understand what's actually happening. He did it too soon, and he overestimates his ability to understand. Vader finally stood up. As the Emperor sank slowly into his throne, Vader stepped up onto the dais, his huge frame towering over his master. Now, many people bring up the fact that why doesn't Vader just kill Palpatine a long time ago? Sorry. Well, Vader's created, his armor is created that he can't really defeat Palpatine. His armor is not created the best it can be, and to force lightning, it's pretty much useless. So, when I bled the kyber crystal in the cave, what? The dark side showed itself to me in a way that I did not think possible. I've seen it, my master. So we're talking about when he bled his kyber crystal, because that's in the canon comics. He raised a fist and clenched it in the air. I've seen the true power of the Force. What you've taught me is only the beginning. So now Vader's like, I see what you're holding out on me, and I'm sick and tired of it. That's pretty good. A weary smile played over the Emperor's wizened features. Wizened? Sure. Good, my apprentice. Good. Your experience on Mustafar was indeed a worthwhile exercise. It is true. There is much to understand about the dark side. And then his smile dropped, and the Emperor stood. Vader took a step backwards as his master held out both hands. But beware what it promises. The Emperor's hands snapped into claws, and from the tips of his bent fingers bursts an onslaught of blue lightning, the forks of which seemed to be drawn to the shape of Vader's body, embracing him in a cradle of crackling, snapping force energy. Vader was lifted off his feet and fell backwards, carried across the room by the wave of lightning. He hit the floor on his side and rolled over, the power still coursing from the Emperor's outstretched hands. The Emperor's face twisted into a grimace of pure hatred. So that is, again, why Vader never turns against Palpatine. He doesn't have the ability to. Anytime he does try to, Palpatine can just stop him, because his suit was designed that way. Pretty damn awesome. This book sounds incredible. The mention of Darth Plagueis, I think there'll be more exploration of Plagueis and his trainings for Palpatine in this novel, which is just awesome. I wonder if they'll go through the whole bleeding a kyber crystal in this novel, because yes, in the comic it's cool to visually see it, him bleed the kyber crystal, him go into that sort of other realm. That is really cool to see, but to get that explained in words could give us a way deeper dive into it. What he sees, how he feels, what's going through his head, all that stuff could be put into more explanation on the page than on a comic book. So hopefully they do dive into that too as well with this cave on Mustafar and stuff. But honestly, pretty damn cool. Mention of Plagueis, getting more Plagueis in the future, hopefully, is the goal. So whether it is a Acolyte Season 2, which seems highly unlikely at this point, but maybe a Plagueis show or a Palpatine show, a young Palpatine with Plagueis being there, anything to give us the training of Palpatine to Vader with Plagueis being involved, Plagueis to Palpatine, Palpatine to Vader. Anything with Plagueis, sign me up. Absolutely sign me up. So this is going to be great. It is available on November 11th and is now available for pre-order. So I might have to pre-order that. So let's see. Might have to pre-order that. It's only $30 for the hardcover? Damn. That's cheaper than I thought it would be, honestly. But what do I know? Okay. I might just get the audiobook anyway, because it'll be free, but yeah. Okay. So there's that. Plagueis mentioned in the upcoming excerpt from the upcoming Vader novel, where it's Palpatine training Vader, and Vader still wanting to go talk about that whole Padme stuff that happened that he never got, the good benefits of. He never got to actually save Padme. Okay. But speaking of, we do have, that was just another thing. I want to talk about this. Thinking the world between worlds, did Vader and see Padme like how Ezra saved Ahsoka? Interesting. So you think the world between worlds could be the place where Vader could go in and pull Padme out of? What's the name of the book? It's called Master of Evil. Yeah. Yeah. your thing, actually, you bring up a great point because Ezra goes into the world between worlds and full on pulls Ahsoka out of time. So wouldn't Vader be able to do the same thing with Padme? And that begs the question because the world between worlds is a conduit between the living and the dead. Would a dead Anakin Skywalker, who is in the world between worlds in front of Ahsoka, would he be able to go save Padme through the world between worlds? It would change the entire timeline, so I'm guessing no. But I wonder if he knows about that power before he dies, that is. This would be a stretch, but I hope that Sidious makes mention or something about Chimere and maybe even reveals that he killed him, or even just a mention of like Plagueis had another apprentice or something and I killed him. That'd be kind of cool. I'd be down for that. I was under the impression that dark side users can't enter. Maybe. I mean, Palpatine doesn't physically enter, but he kind of enters. He like attacks Ahsoka and Ezra through the world between worlds. Yeah. Maybe. Maybe. All right. So let's talk about this too before we run out of time here. So, well, this was kind of cool. So, little tiny things before we get to the next big thing. Lucasfilm Animation is now its own section on Disney Plus. So, this is a picture of it. Let's go to Disney Plus itself. So, on Disney Plus, there's a bunch of different sections for different things, obviously. But when you go to the home screen now, and you look at all these different. Hang on. You guys can't see that. So you have like the Disney animation stuff, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, etc. And when you scroll down, you have all these different things like you might watch, blah, 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 blah. Thunderbolts is number 1 on there. Any Star Wars on here? No. Okay. But then you have this new thing called Star Wars Animation. So scroll back up here. So if you go to Star Wars here. Where is it? Collections. Here we go. Star Wars Animation gets its own collection. So here is all the Star Wars Animation stuff. The Tales, Stories, Bad Batch, Clone Wars, Rebels, Resistance, all in one place. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And then you have all these different animated characters. By the way, me and Sam just watched, we're almost done with season 5. So we're just about to start the last episode, or last arc with Ahsoka. And you know what happens there. So we're about to get on that. And wait, what? The rumor is that from Daniel RPK that Disney's trailer for the Mandalorian Grogu is coming tomorrow? Oh, that a Disney trailer is coming tomorrow, and it could be the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. Okay, that's different. That is different. It could be a Avatar trailer. It could be a Tron trailer. It could be a Maul series trailer. Interesting. I like that, though. I'll have to look into that a little bit more. But yes, me and Sam just finished the Mandalore arc. We just watched the episode. I didn't even realize it was all one episode. It's 2 episodes arc, but it's 1 episode with all this that happens in it. Maul takes over Mandalore. Obi-Wan comes to save the day. They have the awesome fight between Mandalorians and Bo-Katan's Death Watch with Obi-Wan there to help. Satine dies. Savage dies. You get the most underrated lightsaber duel in Star Wars, one of the most at least, with Sidious versus Maul and Savage, all in 1 episode. It's so good. So we just finished that last night, and now we're on to the final Ahsoka arc in season 5, where you know what happens. But yeah, so yeah. Interestingly enough, there's a bunch of characters here from animation. There's Satine, R.I.P. There's the ghost, or whatever you want to call it, of Darth Bane. Right there. That's pretty cool. There's George Lucas right there. Looking as snazzy as ever. So that's cool. Some Some other little tiny news things. They just revealed this. A new upcoming Lego set. A gingerbread AT-AT Walker with a gingerbread Darth Vader coming along with it. So I don't know when that releases. October 1st. Comes out October 1st. It's sort of a minifig. Yeah, it's a minifig. It's not that big. It's only 700 pieces. But that's pretty cool. And then there was something else small. Oh, yeah, today's also Keanu Reeves' birthday. Almost played Soul in The Acolyte, but scheduling conflicts, blah, blah, blah. Also, people want him to play, Darth Revan. Jeez. And people think that he could be the voice of Darth Revan in the upcoming series, Rebuild the Galaxy Season 2. So there's that. Oh, a behind the scenes look we got to here of Jon Favreau with Grogu and Din Djarin. Behind the scenes of The Mandalorian. They're in the Razor Crest there too. Oh, yes, this. So this was the other big thing I wanted to get to. George Lucas's museum. They dropped a trailer for it yesterday. So it cost $1 billion to make, or about $1 billion to make. The entire campus is 11 acres, has about 700 trees on top and around it, and it opens to the public in 2026. Take a look at this. Okay, that I don't want to get copy struck for anything like that. But, I mean, this thing looks awesome. It's enormous. I'm pretty sure it's right in the middle of LA too, so I don't know how they got all this space to do it, but it literally looks like a spaceship, and you got a bunch of trees and stuff on top, but like even the surrounding area, it looks insane. So there's some sort of stadium there too. I don't know what that is, but this is awesome. It's going to be enormous. It's going to be opening next year, and hopefully for 2027 it'll be jam-packed with Star Wars fans when Star Wars Celebration happens. But there you have it. I mean, this thing is enormous. It's going to have, I believe it was 150,000, correct me if I'm wrong there, 150,000 pieces of just like set pieces and stuff from different movies, obviously Star Wars being a big one, but even other movies as well. Lucasfilm being whoa, that was very loud. So there's that. That opens up next year. Not next month, but next year. We looked at all that. Yes, John Boyega. So John Boyega was asked about Star Wars yet again. And what he had to say was pretty damn interesting. So this one was at Dragon Con. And when he was asked to see what he'd like to see from Finn in the future, his response was something with a lightsaber. Something with a lightsaber. Zori, what's up? How we doing? So there is all that, the rumors going around of the Rey movie and all this stuff. Who's going to be in it? Who's not going to be in it? Poe Dameron coming back. John Boyega, of course. Finn coming back. They teased at the idea of him being Force sensitive in The Rise of Skywalker. The coolest arc that could have happened in the sequel trilogy would have been Stormtrooper becomes Jedi. And they still have the opportunity to do that in the Rey movie and beyond in the sequel trilogy. So I'm on board with John Boyega here. If we do see Finn in the future, give him a lightsaber. Make him a Jedi. Make him the destiny he was supposed to have. Darth Finn? Okay. No. But tell me in the chat, do you want to see Finn as a Jedi in a post-sequel project? Whether it's the Rise Rey movie or Starfighter, which probably won't be, but whatever it may be. Simon Kinberg's trilogy. Do you want to see him with a lightsaber? Sith Finn? I don't know. I'd rather him be a Jedi. I think if anybody's going to fall to the dark side, it should have been Rey in the sequel trilogy because she's a Palpatine, but she didn't. So, hell yes. Okay, interesting. Wouldn't they know Finn is Force sensitive from from when he was young? Well, no, because the Jedi Order is not there going around the galaxy looking for Force-sensitive young children. And the First Order just raised him to be a stormtrooper. Yeah. Of course, yes. Okay. Finn held his own against Kylo. He should absolutely be trained. He held his own for a minute. Yep. And then he gets destroyed. But Kylo also was shot by a blaster bolt. Yeah. But I agree with you. I think he should still get trained. Yeah. I think at this point, it would be dumb not to bring him back in that way. Plus, the Lego specials set up that plot point heavily. That's true. I kind of forgot about that. The holiday Lego special that came out, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, that established Finn to have a lightsaber and be training with Rey. Yeah. So that could be the case, that they've already established that storyline going forward. I'd be down for that. But I'm on board with John Boyega there. Something with a lightsaber would be fantastic. All right, let's see if that rumor that was brought up earlier is out there anywhere. Right now I'm not seeing anything, but let's keep going. Okay. The Marvel Zombies trailer dropped today. Yeah. Let's see. Can you send this to the Discord if you have access to it right now? I am not seeing it. Whatever. Okay. If you find it, just send it to the Discord. Yeah. And we'll go from there. Okay. Yeah. An orange lightsaber would suit Finn well. I think, like, yeah, orange would. Blue would be cool. Blue would be cool. Even green. Because, well, I can't wait to see more of Rey's yellow. The yellow is so cool to me. Not enough characters with yellow lightsabers. So I hope we get more of that. But blue would be kind of cool for Finn. Or even green. I like green. Yeah. New villain is Mia Goth. Well, we got Mia Goth and Matt Smith. So the two of them are playing villains. Yeah. Do lightsabers have odors? Like a smell? No. I don't think so. Jedi Finn should be a thing. Well, hopefully in the future it shall be. And by the way, I forgot I had this poll up for so long. 81% of you say yes, you do think that Din Djarin will be getting a new Razor Crest in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, but that still begs the question, what will happen to the M1 Starfighter? We still don't know about that. Give Finn a purple lightsaber? Purple would be cool, but I mean, it would be cool. Yeah, it would be cool. Who else has a purple lightsaber other than Mace Windu? Let's look it up. Characters with purple lightsabers. I know Mace Windu was the first to. Oh, yeah, Revan. Mara Jade. Yeah, Mara Jade had a purple lightsaber too. Pedestra Row. Yeah, I forgot about that too. Yadi Mundi. What? Keller and Bex is green. This is just lying to me. This list is a lie. So yeah, Revan is a big one. Oh, in Legend Stories, Yadi Mundi had one. Mara Jade, yep. Jaina Solo, true. Bunch of Legends characters. Not a lot of canon ones, though. Not a lot of canon ones. Master Beckham in the house. What's up, Master Beckham? How we doing? How we doing? The new Lego bad guy does? Oh, from the upcoming season? Interesting. Interesting. No one cares about the Rey movie. We just want Cal Kestis series. well, I care about the Rey movie, but I would like a Cal Kestis series. I just want Cal Kestis to come to live action. It doesn't have to be his own series. He's got his own games. I just want him in live action. Yeah, no? What is the white bird that follows Ahsoka Tano around? Well, that is named Morai, the owl. It's named Morai, or owl-looking creature. His name is Morai, or her name is Morai, and she is sort of the living embodiment of the daughter, or the living embodiment of the light side of the Force is the daughter from the Mortis God arc. And when she dies, Anakin puts her essence into Ahsoka to bring her back to life. So seemingly Ahsoka is the living embodiment of the light side of the Force, or the daughter. And when that happens, Morai, that owl, follows Ahsoka around all the time. Now, what its purpose is, we don't know. Yeah, we don't know. Not yet, at least. Not yet. Okay, but with that, I do have to get on out of here. I got to finish up a short for today, later on tonight. Watch out for that. And of course, live streams every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday for the rest of your lives. And I'll be on Star Wars Jedi Chat tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow night, Wednesday night. So, watch out for that. And yeah, huge shout outs to Jordan Rennie and Jordan Rennie again, but Jordan Rennie for the third time. Darth Plagueis lives. Jordan Rennie again. You pal Joe. Brandon Baker, Fearless, shout out. Mods. Star Wars Jedi, Ron, Holly, appreciate all you guys for the super chats, memberships. Keep the lights on over here. And everybody else who tuned in, I appreciate you so much more than you will ever know. Smash a freaking like on the stream. How many likes do we have, chat? How many likes do we have? Am I going to be upset? Actually, that's not bad at all. Getting our first official look at the Mandalorian and Grogu movie is awesome. These 15 images could not be more excited. I mean, just look at this. Come on. How can you not be excited for this? Look at that. Look at this. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. Look at this. Look at this. Look at that. Look at Din and Grogu. Look at Stinky the Hutt. I mean, come on. It's gonna be epic. Can't freaking wait. But I guess we do have to wait, because there still is no trailer. But until then, may the Force be with you. Always. Oh yeah, what a great stream. What a great show. You guys are the absolute best. I appreciate you all so much more than you'll ever know. This was quite the live stream, if I do say so myself. I mean, Jordan Rennie dropping crazy super chats. Love to see that. Mandalorian and Grogu movie giving us first official looks. Love to see that. Darth Plagueis mentions in the new upcoming Vader novel about him trying to get the power to get back Padme and Palpatine torturing him. Love to see that. John Boyega coming back as Finn with a lightsaber. Love to see that. But until next time, hope you have a great rest of your evening, great rest of your lives, and good night, everybody.